All right, welcome my fellow counselors to the Cold Case Council. We have a good one tonight brought to us by the Porchlight Project. Back in 2016, there were 72 bones found in a barn in New London. It is quite possibly one of the oldest genealogical cases to date and probably our oldest case that we have covered. First, I want to take this time to thank our sponsor, the Porchlight Project. This nonprofit organization offers support for the families of the missing and murdered. Having helped in many cases, they are able to bring afflicted families closure. Again, thanks to Porchlight for their collaboration. Now, some of you may be mad because technically this isn't a cold case anymore, but me and Logan just thought this case was too interesting to pass up, and there's still a bunch of mystery to it. So Logan, 72 bones, that's a lot.
Sure is, Nate. It's a third of a person.
Right? So anyway, the bones were found in the barn formerly owned by New London Mayor Dar Anderson.
Serious, don't you think?
Could be. The new property owner found them under a weathered pile of newspaper. Obviously shocked, she called the police who went to Anderson for questions. However, he said he never found the bones due to the barn's disrepair.
The remains were sent to forensic anthropologist Dr. Dennis Dirkmont's lab at Mercyhurst University. He determined that bones likely came from a female between the ages of 13 and 20, who stood between 4'10" and 5'6" tall. There are no signs of any dental work, so the bones were assumed old.
I wonder how old the bones actually are, Logan.
Well, then counselors are probably thinking, Nate.
You're right. I wonder how old.
Yeah, we do.
The Porchlight Project transferred the bones to the New London Chief of Police as they were thought to be evidence of possibly a homicide. The chief allowed the bones to be DNA analyzed at Bode Technology. Bode Technology's genealogist Melinda Lutz Byrne tried matching the DNA to multiple databases. She found one potential familial match. The match was a young woman named Hallie Armstrong, who died at age 18. Now, the thing is here, Logan, she died all the way back in 1881.
Seriously? That long ago? Man, she was so young, too.
It is very sad, Logan. Armstrong was a young teacher and unmarried. Her cause of death was listed as unknown, which was irregular at that age. Another strange thing was she was buried in a lone grave at Sugar Grove Cemetery. Her father was the superintendent for an infirmary, and her family was well off. If they had money, why would she be buried alone?
I don't know, Nate. Maybe there were family issues.
Possibly, Logan. Although, this holds another mystery. If Miss Armstrong's bones are in the barn, whose are in the graves? And I'm sorry about this, Council, but we're going to have to cut to a commercial break in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ancestry DNA is a great way to learn about or even confirm your ancestry. The service is easy to use and very cost-efficient and efficient. Using our service would be very worth it if you have questions about your own DNA history.
Alright, we're back from our short commercial break.
I'm not sure, Nate. Dr. Dirkmont suggests that the bones may be a medical specimen. One of the former owners was a chiropractor. The logic here is that a cut in the skull looks like that of a power saw. There are also tool markings on the sacrum and the pelvis.
The Porchlight Project spoke to the curators of Sugar Grove Cemetery. The plot she was supposed to be in is located in a spot that would be difficult to exhume. The ground has hardened over the past years and was covered by a large tree's roots.
That stinks. Digging the plot up could solve another mystery.
Or it could just create a new one.
Right.
Either way, all the Porchlight can do now is wait. Every day, more and more people grow curious about their heritage and purchase DNA kits from one like our commercial, Ancestry, and another one, 23andMe. Over time, many different people across the U.S. have actually matched the remains found. What do you think, Logan? You could be related.
You could too, Nate. If so, then you and I could technically be related.
Technically, Logan. That would be something, huh?
Yeah.
However, none of the matches have been close enough to tell us we have solved this case. Hopefully some person will log on wondering what their heritage is and find out they are the missing piece of this 140-year-old mystery.
Many have thanked the Porchlight Project, including Mike Marco, the police chief of New London. He says that he is thankful for the help in closing this cold case and ruling out homicide.
James Renner, the Porchlight Project founder, says, "I'm happy to say we've helped the New London police rule out a potential homicide in their town, and in the process of solving one mystery, we've uncovered a much older one. Who was Hallie Armstrong, really? And how did her remains end up in a barn in New London 100 years after her death?
Those are good questions.
Hopefully one day we can provide an answer." So Logan, after reading this, I decided to do my own research, and I have a question for myself. Where Miss Armstrong was buried is about 750 miles away where her remains were found.
Wow.
If someone took her remains, what do you think about this? Her remains. What do you think about this whole thing, Logan? What's your theory?
Talk about it. Well, my theory is since doing my research, sorry about the stuttering. Miss Armstrong was pretty about 750 miles away. That's pretty far.
It is very far.
Yeah. Well, this thing, someone took her remains. Maybe they wanted to study them.
Possibly. But one person had the theory that a chiropractor might have done medical research on them.
Yeah.
If it was a chiropractor, why were there buzzsaw marks in the skull?
That's a good question.
Chiropractors crack people's bones, not saw into them.
They do.
And there were also tool marks, so I wonder what those could have been from.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I wonder what those could have been too.
And what do you think about her being buried in a lone grave? Do you think maybe...
That's saddening.
It is very sad. And her family was well off. They had a ton of money. Why do you think they did that?
Maybe they hated her.
They could have.
Yeah.
Definitely could have been some family problems there. Maybe they sold her bones to a chiropractor.
Maybe they didn't want them.
That would be very dark, huh?
Yeah.
It could have just been a whole setup.
Yeah.
This is definitely an interesting case, huh, Logan?
Yeah.
Again, not fully a cold case, so don't hold a grudge against us. They did sort of solve it. They said that they ruled out homicide and that it was closed, but there's still mystery to it.
Yeah.
They have a lot of questions that aren't answered.
Yeah, they might have to, someday they'll have to answer them.
Yeah. Maybe they'll cut down that big giant tree and figure out what's in the grave.
Like, cut down the giant tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can check out our podcast on YouTube and any streaming service. Our latest episode has us talking about a body found in Lake Erie. Definitely was a good one, huh, Logan?
It sure was, Nate. I can't imagine finding a dead body while on a fishing trip in Lake Erie.
That would be really creepy, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
Spending all that money and then you go out and you find a dead body floating in the water.
Right. No one wants to find a dead body in the water.
And I saw something on the internet. They still haven't found who the person actually is or why the body was in the lake.
They didn't? They haven't?
No, not yet.
Wow.
That's going to have to do it for this council. Make sure to subscribe to get notifications of our latest shows. You counselors have a good night. I'm Nate.
And I'm Logan.
Signing off.
Wait.